All right, everybody. Well, we're live and we're back. Day 2 of our 3-day live training. Today is the day where I actually deliver on everything that I promised when you signed up for this 3-day training. So again, as I mentioned yesterday, my idea for you by the end of this is to understand how powerful your business can be and how epic it is to focus on list building and lead generation, and how much opportunity that gives you to monetize. So we talked about that, and we talked about the power of using these automated chat sequences, the ability to use them with social media, literally just the insane benefit that's out there if you start using these with Instagram, with Facebook, and the power that it gives your business. So that was essentially day 1. Nice little, sort of basic training day on the absolute amazing and seriously incredible power that comes from using these sequences. But when you signed up for this 3-day training, you probably did so because I promised that I was going to show you some seriously profitable campaigns. And today I want to hold true on that promise by actually taking you into anywhere between 10, 12 really incredible and high profit campaigns that we've run. So again, we spent the last 6 years building these campaigns for multiple dozens, hundreds at this point, of different businesses. And I want to reiterate, in case you maybe skipped over this in day 1, we have a very unique perspective here at Chatmatic because we are, from what I can tell, the only software company that actually has in-house clients that we work with in multiple different niches. We've never turned a niche away because of, the nature of their business so far. Not that we wouldn't, but we haven't. We've done these campaigns in essentially any niche you could possibly think of. So we have that perspective of being able to help people that, it's not our business. I also am one of the most active users of Chatmatic. I use it for myself. That's one of the ways that we test and sort of tweak new campaigns out is I am the sort of the head here, and I drive the direction based on things that I'm seeing in the market as a marketer, somebody who's been in this space for 12 years, but specifically doing these automated chat sequences for 6. I've seen firsthand the power of these. But we also have that last perspective of, wow, well, we also own a software, so we get to see what our most successful users are doing, and that includes people who've generated millions of subscribers in mere hours, like days of joining. So we have some absolutely amazing perspective that I really cannot stress enough. I'm hoping to share with you across today being day 2. Now, it's important to understand that we're just going to show you the campaigns today. We're going to talk about some of the stats, give you guys some ideas. I want this to be a day when you leave that you're saying to yourself, man, I could absolutely do this. Whether it's helping clients, you actually do this for other people, which is a massive market for. We've identified about 120 million businesses on Instagram alone that could benefit from this. It doesn't even mention just normal lead generation. If we think about this as just normal lead generation, the amount of clients for this is massive. But there's 120 million businesses on Instagram that organically would benefit from this. You don't even have to run ads, which I think is a really cool thing if you're looking to run an agency. But if you're looking to do this for yourself, I want you to leave today thinking, I could absolutely do this for myself, looking at what they're doing and how they've developed these campaigns. It's not as complicated as I thought it was. It's not as hard. It's not going to take me as long. And it's insanely impactful for my business. I really need you guys to understand how amazing it is for your business to have these campaigns in place. So that's the feeling for today. I want to walk you through essentially our main campaigns, the campaigns that we use for everybody whenever we talk to a client, whenever we build them for ourselves. We're building them around these common frameworks that we've found after doing dozens of different kinds of campaigns. These are the ones that work the best. I want to walk you through the stats of some of these campaigns so that after you've left today, and again, hopefully you download any of the free guides that we're going to give you. They're going to walk you through this. I've got a case study for you guys today, about a 10-page rough draft case study of one of the giveaways that I ran that actually shows screenshots of like the entire sequence, how much money we made. And in fact, that one I think was around 700 subscribers or so and made $70,000. So it's worth downloading. So I want to be able to get you guys to think as you leave. I want the ideas to percolate in your mind so that when you come into day 3, you're like, I'm ready to do this. Because on day 3, we're actually going to be building some campaigns. We're going to do some exercises as though we're fresh off the street, and we're literally going to be building campaigns from scratch for you guys here so that you can leave this 3-day training having seen campaigns, seeing the big opportunity, and actually watched us make them from scratch so you can see that they're not crazy complicated and that, yes, you watching from home can absolutely do them. And as always, obviously, if you're looking to take any of this to the next level, there's more information about our collective. I would urge you guys to take a look at that. Make sure you guys are paying attention to the collective because that's going to get you from where you are now to where you want to be the fastest, is allowing us to come into your business and help you actually execute on this stuff, but doing so in a way that makes you self-sufficient. So with all that in mind, what I wanted to do to kind of switch things up just a little bit, but also add some perspective, is I obviously don't build all the campaigns for all of our clients. I obviously don't build all the campaigns for our users. And I don't internally see all of the campaigns that our users create, right? That's kind of expanded out across our company. So that's why one of the people that I want to introduce you to now, Trent, he actually manages a lot of our client campaigns, builds them from scratch, and then also gets to see a lot of our users' campaigns, so has a unique perspective on some of the things that people are trying, some of the things that have been successful, and can also just sort of lend a hand in giving that little bit of perspective. So welcome, Trent.
Yeah, I'm excited. Good to be here.
This is going to be a good time, and we're going to be walking you guys through basically as much as we possibly can, and we're going to hit the ground running because I don't want to waste your guys' time. And I'm literally right now going to be making sure that you guys would be able to see my screen, so we'll be able to go back and forth from my screen. That's why the computer's out today. You do have to do some things on the computer, so I'll be showing you guys through some of that as we go through. Now, let's hit the ground running. Let's talk about one of the campaigns that I think everybody should be paying attention to, and that is a lead generation campaign. Let's face it. Everybody who's here wants to generate more leads, or at least hopefully that should be your goal leaving this training is I need more leads. The tried and true method of marketing is coming back into play, which is generate leads, cultivate the relationship with those leads, and make money. To preface this, have we ever been in a situation that, since you've been working with me here, have you ever been in a situation where when somebody collects leads that they don't make more money? Like, I don't think I've ever seen a situation where somebody hasn't made more money than they've spent collecting the leads.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it unless they just genuinely don't know what to do or don't use it, but we try to teach them what to do with the leads. So.
Right, and that's an important factor to keep in mind, right? There's everything that you do ahead of generating a lead, and then there's everything that you do after you've generated a lead. The post-lead collection, monetization essentially, they have to be looked at separately. And I think it's really worth mentioning that Facebook ads, a lot of people look at Facebook ads as a way of generating sales, and you're wrong. Yes, you can generate sales with Facebook ads. The main point of Facebook ads is to generate leads, is to get new relationships, introduce yourself to people that don't know you now.
Well, you've always said, like, the money's in the follow-up.
100%. I mean, and again, I think that saying even comes from the money's in the list, which is what everybody used to say. But what is the list? The list is your guaranteed way of following up with people without having to pay.
Creating that relationship over the course of time.
100%. And there's no right or wrong way to do that. If you're not currently email marketing right now, you're insane, but it's okay. But you have to get on it. There's no right or wrong way to write an email. There's no right or wrong way to develop that relationship and to consistently monetize, but you need to be doing it. So the first campaign that puts this into a really cool perspective for a lot of you guys, we're going to be talking about an e-commerce lead generation campaign. And the reason I want to start here is because most people don't think lead generation when they think e-commerce. And this is wild to me. Most people think with e-commerce, the only way to generate a lead is an exit pop-up on their website. Like, oh, this person's leaving, or a little pop-up on their website that says, hey, join my newsletter and get 10% off.
Or the only emails they're collecting are like, the sales that they're getting.
Or, sales or abandoned carts. Yeah. That's literally every e-commerce company that works with us, that comes to us. I would say 90+% of them are only collecting leads through buyers. When you ask them like, hey, what do you do for emails? Well, it's just my buyers or my abandoned carts. I've got those. And I've got this pop-up on the website. So you're playing both sides of a weird spectrum where like on one side, you've got your best people. That's great. You definitely want those. On the other side, you've got your worst people. Opt in to get 10%. You know what annoys the crap out of me is when I go to an e-commerce store's website and before I can even look at the item that I'm interested in, I get hit with this pop-up that I can't figure out how to exit out of. That's like, get $10 off your first order. It's like, dude,
the exit's in some like weird place where you can't really see it.
It's like, I'm not even ready to spend money with you yet, and you're trying to give me $10 off. I don't know if I want to buy from you yet. Let me at least get to the point where I'm scrolling around your site, looking at something. Let me shop. It's almost like literally, another thing that annoys me about real shopping, and I think this is a good perspective to have, is when you walk into an actual store, and as soon as you walk in, hey, just letting you know that if you do this, you get this. It's like, dude, give me a second. I literally don't know that I want anything from you right now. So just let me like look at an item and then be like, hey, I just want to let you know. Now, okay, at least I'm shopping. But when you hit me with it right as soon as I walk in the door, it's like, give me a break. So stop playing opposite ends of the spectrum. What you should be doing is generating leads as you go. So I think this is a really cool campaign where we can actually show you the e-commerce version of a lead generation campaign where the goal is obviously still to generate sales, right? That's what we really want at the end of this, is to be able to generate sales. All right, so I'm going to bring up their website and just kind of show you guys what this looks like. This is some free advertising for this company, Otzi. I have no affiliation with them, but I wanted to show you because we made a little fake campaign out of it. I got an ad for this company on Instagram, and the ad literally was a picture of one of these grills, and it just basically said, hey, here's our grill, check it out, yada, yada. I clicked on it, and it sent me to this website right here. Literally the website you're seeing on my screen, right? This is a very normal, like, basic e-commerce page. And so what I did was, and this is an idea that we've taught forever, what if I take this information and put it into a sequence? That's it. That's the whole methodology. There's no science, crazy information behind this, right? It's just like, how can I take this and translate it into a sequence?
Yep.
This is one of the things that we do for brands, and I know it sounds literally ridiculous because when we make them, everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But yet I'm just like, yo, dude, I literally copy and pasted your website.
Well, people don't really read through a website, but they're going to read through it in a conversation.
Well, they're forced to in a conversation. They might not read everything on a website, but in order to get where they want to go in a sequence, they'd probably have to. So what I actually want to do right now is you guys can see this is what their website looks like. You can add to cart. This is not rocket science. You guys all understand this, right? What they would normally do is they'd run an ad. It was on Instagram. When I click, it goes to this website. I can buy or not. You guys know, based on what we talked about yesterday, the disadvantage here is Facebook retargeting only gives them a very limited amount of time to keep me in an audience because, let's face it, they're not going to be able to keep any data on me for a long period of time. Second, the only way to get me back is to pay Facebook more money, right? Literally, that's it. Right now, I didn't opt in. I'm not going to opt in. In fact, the only way you can opt in is by this little join to get special offers, free giveaways, and once-in-a-lifetime deals at the very bottom of their website that most people probably never even see.
Well, there was a percentage of like, I think it was 8% of people who
will opt into a website after seeing, when given that opportunity. So what I want to do now is I want to show you the Chatmatic version of this, how we translated it into an actual sequence. So what you guys are seeing on my screen now is an example of that sequence playing out. And I want to walk you through what goes on in this sequence so that you guys can really understand, like, oh, wow, that's actually really cool. So first things first, I want to point out some major factors. They have right here, it looks like they're normally 215 down to 179. I believe this was normally 289 marked down to 179 when I originally made this campaign. So what I did was I started off by essentially trying to kick off a lead generation first message. So again, normal ad on Instagram, when they click, it fires this sequence off, and we'll show you guys how to do that stuff. But basically the first message says, let's face it, there's nothing better than being outside with your grill, maybe a cold beer, you got the fire going, yada, yada. We think that we've got the best portable grill for you. We're giving $100 off. I literally just took the discount that they had on their website originally. And actually, they maybe even increased the price or something. But so then I said, okay, in order to get this deal, give me your email address below. So now, again, I'm getting email instantly. Not like some point down the line. I'm getting email address instantly, but I'm also providing them an incentive. I'm telling them they're going to get a discount if they opt in. That's normal lead generation, is to give an incentive to opt in. A lot of people think, well, I'm just going to ask for their email. You're not going to get as many email addresses if there's no incentive.
It's like, why would I give you my email?
Right. You're already doing it on your e-commerce site. This is a little different because it's step by step, right? So now there's no website behind this pop-up, right? It's like email and you can continue. So then you go to the next step and it says $100 off unlocked. It waits 1 second, shows a picture of the grill, talks a little bit more about it, waits 4 seconds, and then it asks them a question. And I think this is one of the major benefits of using sequences. I can get to know the customer and their needs. This is insane to think that this is insane. Like, it's crazy to think that this is different. The question is, when you go camping, do you cook for yourself or do you cook for more than one person? Because we have a solo grill or a single person grill. What the ad didn't take into account, the ad that I saw, it just said, hey, check out our grill.
Yeah.
They sent me to the 2-person. My guess is they did that because it's the more expensive grill. And if I didn't look around their website, I wouldn't know. But what can we do with that information? What can we do with the fact that we know now that somebody is cooking for themselves or cooking solo? Maybe you've got other products on your store that matter to somebody who cooks alone. Maybe you've got stuff that, hey, if you're going for more than one person, you need these other things.
Yep.
I just noticed they have attachments that they are selling now on their grills. I just looked at their website. And so imagine now, maybe you need 2 attachments versus 1, right? Allows you to do some future marketing stuff, which you can send all this data over to your autoresponder, but then you can also store it forever inside of Chatmatic. You can tag people. So now I can tag them as a solo cooker, tag them as a 2-person grill person. So just right off the gate, we're 2 messages in, and I want you guys to think about this. 6 months from now, I can, inside of Chatmatic, send an email to everybody who gave me their email in this sequence directly to the 2-person grill people.
Yeah.
Not mentioning the 1-person grill people.
Where before they weren't even collecting that, so they couldn't even send an email. But say they were sending emails. Let's play devil's advocate. They were sending emails. They don't have that. They can't micro-target.
They don't have an identifier.
Yeah,
Yep.
they don't have...
The micro-targeting. So now we're talking about mass marketing with a micro-commitment level of, I can actually get to know people. How would that benefit your business? If you're in e-commerce, how would that benefit your business? I think about companies like a teeth whitening company. Ask them in the sequence, on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want whiter teeth? On a scale of 1 to 10, are your teeth straight? Between 1 and 7, how many days do you floss? Get to know dental habits about the person going through, because if they're a 10, they want whiter teeth, max bundle right there, bang. You can't do that on your normal store. Now we're collecting that data, and guess what? Now when we collect the data, somebody says, I'm a 10 out of 10 as far as how much I want whiter teeth. Now that email sequence is like, yo, you need this. This is our best way to whiten your teeth in 30 days, blah, blah, blah. Some people might be on your website because they just want whitening toothpaste, right? So we get to know that stuff about people. You can ask them in these sequences, and you can do it in a sequence that takes you 18.4 minutes to make.
Very exact.
What's awesome is after they select cooking solo, I send them a message that shows them the solo cooker. Again, hyper targeting to them. I'm not going to ask them if you want a solo cooker and then send them the same message as a 2-person cooker.
Yeah, why would you do that?
But that's what happens when you use a website.
Yep.
That's what's amazing to me is you can't get that targeted, but you'd have to create 2 separate ads. One showing a solo cooker, one showing a dual. But what if you're showing the solo cooker to the dual person and the dual cooker to the solo person? Man, tongue twisters with the cooking here. But anyways, you can see here it's essentially the same message. And then what I did was you can see here, I've got their email address. I know if they want a single or double grill. I show them a link directly to that individual product. You can see one of them is called the Otzi Spark. One of them is called the Otzi Ember. The 2-person is the Otzi Ember. So now I'm directly marketing the one that they wanted. I then wait an hour, and then inside of Chatmatic, we integrate with SendGrid. So you can actually send emails from within Chatmatic in your sequence. Hyper-targeted. So now I actually send an email. This is always a really fun thing. I send an email, and the subject line of this email is your Otzi Spark, and I put in their first name. because that's going to the solo person.
Yep.
Right? I didn't say your Otzi grill. I said specifically your Otzi Spark. Let me give you another example with the teeth whitening thing. Kids' toothbrushes and toothpaste versus adults. Ask them in the sequence, who are you shopping for, yourself or your kids? Do you also want information about your kids? I know, for a good example, one of the biggest teeth whitening companies, Snow Teeth Whitening, they have one, the child line is called Frost. So now it could be like, hey, your kid, from Frost, right? So you can actually target inside of our sequences, make your emails sound like they're coming from different places.
Yeah.
Versus having them all be like, well, I just add them to this autoresponder.
That's for me.
It's talking to me.
Yeah.
But you're doing it in bulk, which I think is absolutely insane. It's incredible. So then after that email, we waited 1 hour, we send that email. We then wait 20 hours, and now we're sending another follow-up back into the message sequence. So now we're actually hitting them back in the inbox, back in their DMs, whether this is Instagram or Messenger. And it basically says, hey, it's me again. I just wanted to reach out and make sure that you got that $100 discount, or that you got the discount on yours. If they say, yes, I got the discount, boom, great, cool picture of some food, letting them know, hey, this is coming to your inbox soon. You'll have it in the mail soon. Thank you so much. You could do whatever you wanted here. Thank them, get them to go buy accessories, whatever you want to do. If they say, no, not yet, we send them to this message, which then says, okay, well, this is the time. You really, really need to go and grab your Ember or your Spark. I give them links back to both now, because again, now I want to let them go back and shop. Just give them the max options. This literally would be the exact campaign that we would run if a client came to us and said, hey, I need to turn my current ads into lead generation machines. Instead of, again, let's just analyze. Right now, they're spending money on ads, sending me to their website. They're not doing any hyper-targeting. They're not collecting any lead gen opportunities. So what that means is they're going to have to spend money to make sales forever.
Which is, and it's very hard to retarget. Very hard.
Hard to retarget, hard to then. Now, here's the other thing. Let's say you get 10,000 buyers and you want to run an ad to them. You're still running that ad in an algorithm. So the chances that all 10,000 actually even see your new ad for your new product, which they likely will buy, is very minimal. The way that you can kind of take that up a notch is text message and email, all done with inside of Chatmatic. You can collect mobile numbers and send text messages, and you can collect email and send emails. And you can take these email addresses and send them over to your Klaviyo, your Active Campaign, your Drip, whatever it is. So we've got sort of the best of both worlds in this sense. That is an example of an e-commerce lead gen ad. Imagine what you could do in basically any other niche. Now what I want to do is I want to talk about, and we're going to literally roll from campaign to campaign to try to make the most of your time. What I want you guys to do is maybe take notes on like, oh, this is a really cool idea. All I've got to do is take an ad and turn it into a sequence. Whatever they send me to on their landing page, I just want to turn that into a sequence. If they're sending you to an opt-in page that then goes to a sales letter, just make the opt-in page into the sequence itself. The first message of the sequence is the opt-in page. You collect the information, send them to a thank you page, which then directs them to where they want to go. You can have links inside of these sequences. You can collect data. You can tag people. You can ask them questions and have them actually answer, hey, what's your birthday? You can save that information, right? Lots of really amazing stuff. All the stuff that you think I want to be able to do, you can probably do. You can have conditions. Did the user click this? Did they not click this? Wait 1 hour, send that. You can get advanced, right? One little technique that I will give you guys as you go through this, as you're making your first sequences, is always make the bare minimum. Make your MVP, your minimum viable product, then enhance it once it starts working. Don't try to make the most elaborate campaign before you ever even get any traffic to it. That's a waste of your time.
Well, we see that all the time, and then, maybe you don't really know quite how conditions work just yet because you just got in, and then, something's not working or something breaks. It's like, hey, just build it. 3-4 steps, keep it simple.
You may not even need conditions in your sequence. Usually the reason I add a condition is if it's almost always, did the user take this action or not? So that's kind of an easier one to play on, but make sure you're getting some traction on your campaign before you add conditions if you're letting that be the reason that you're not getting momentum here. So the next campaign that I want to talk to you guys about is actually, we call it a viral contest, right? It's just a contest or a giveaway that you can run on social. So I really want to make this clear for everybody who's watching this. the last campaign and all the future campaigns that we're going to talk about, there's two perspectives that I'm trying to lend here. One is if you currently have a business that would benefit from this, you should pay attention. But also, this is what we do for our clients. So if you're interested in running an agency where you get clients to pay you $1,000 to $2,000 a month to run these for them, these are the ideas of what you would do.
Yep.
This is literally exactly what you would run.
Especially this one.
And in the collective, again, which you can get more information about anywhere on this page, you get these campaigns. So you can literally just copy and paste them. You can copy and paste them into somebody else's campaign and into somebody else's page and have them up and running in no time. You'd have to change them, obviously, and I'll show you a good example here, is a giveaway. So let's talk specifically giveaway on Instagram, but realize these work on Messenger, these work on Facebook, they work with ads. I just want to really talk about the viral style of a giveaway, which is I've got an audience on Instagram. I want to generate more sales. How can I use a giveaway to do that? First off, and there's not enough time for me to cover it in this video, there are really clear economics to a giveaway. Like, people are like, oh, I don't want to, what do I give away? Give away something amazing. Don't give away something crap, right? You won't get very many people to engage. If I want to give away a $10 gift card, nobody's going to pay attention. But in this case, the one that we're going to show you here, this campaign, they were giving away a Keurig coffee maker. They're a coffee company. They were giving away a coffee maker, a coffee mug, one bag of coffee. They're giving away coffee cups, a T-shirt, sticker. It's cool. It's a full package of swag from this company, but then also a coffee maker, which always adds, that level of like, oh, this is cool to the giveaway. So here's what they did. Actually, this is probably a really good time. What I want to do now is we're actually going to just pop the video in. Let's show them what it ends up looking like, and then we'll talk about the campaign. All right, so as you can see, essentially what happens is he made a post on his Instagram page. When you comment on that post or you can DM them a phrase, you're going to get his sequence. First step in the sequence is, hey, you're only a few steps away from being signed up. Click sign me up to get going. That's because the private reply that he was using, it's called private reply when you reply to somebody's comment privately. Pretty easy. You can only send one message. That message can have multiple quick replies in it, which is what this is. Sign me up button that you're seeing on my screen is technically a quick reply.
And just to pause you for a second, if you guys got that PDF from yesterday, day one,
should walk you through all.
It'll walk you through all the rules. So very bulleted on that.
So that way you can have that on hand when you go, hey, I want to have a private reply. Okay, I know what to do. So now you've got first message, sign me up. Next message is, let's do this. Just a quick reminder of what you're going to get. This is the same thing I would do if I was hosting a giveaway on a landing page. I want to remind them of all the stuff that they're going to get in the giveaway. We then show them the image that they opted in from to, again, remind them, because we want to further indoctrinate them into our system. We want them to think, I really want to get in. So now it just says to officially enroll, give me your email. Here's what's hugely successful about our giveaways versus everybody else's giveaways on Instagram, because you're probably all familiar with giveaways on Instagram. Somebody giving something away on Instagram. They always say, oh, well, like my page, tag some friends, and we'll pick a winner. What data do you get long-term from that? None. Right? What do you get? Oh, you get new followers, which is cool, but Instagram has shown that you only can average about 8% reach. I dare you to check your Instagram reach and tell me it's higher on average than 8%. Go ahead. Because a lot of you guys are fooled. A lot of you guys have blinders on and you think, oh, if I get more followers, I can make more money. Sort of true, but not guaranteed and not consistent. Not something that you can bank on, because what if Instagram has an algorithm change? What if they go down for a day? How do you generate sales? Which happened recently.
Yeah, we've seen that.
What do you do? I urge you, if there's a comment section on this page, tell me, because there's nothing you can do. You don't actually have a business that you control. You have a business and a relationship with subscribers that Instagram controls, that Facebook controls. Now, if you're running an agency, this is the pain point that a lot of businesses are dealing with. They don't have full control over their own subscribers. It's an algorithm. We want to get around that by using these giveaways, using lead generation techniques, using ads, all the other ones that we'll talk about today, to send people into sequences where we can collect data and get them off of the platform. One of our mantras here is from algorithm to inbox, because if you can do that, you can make money. It's the whole reason I'm still standing here. There's nothing special about anything that I've done. And in fact, most of my funnels in the past have sucked. They've been inadequate. They haven't been great. But because I have an email list from every single one of them, I can always go to another offer, make a different offer, and make sure that people are getting value from me and hearing from me. I don't have much of a social profile, much of a social following. If you have one, you're in good shape. This page, this coffee company had about 16,000 followers, nothing massive. The stats from this one I want to talk about are pretty amazing. So what you're seeing on my screen right now, message 2. In order to get to message 3, you have to give them your email address. We looked it up. It was 98% opt-in, meaning 98% of the people that got this first message got the second one, which is absolutely insane. You've been with me now building and see my pages for 5 years. We've never gotten 98% opt-in.
No, I want
literally never.
I want to say like the highest is maybe like 30, like just over 30.
I have one right now, which is really interesting. We'll see how it plays out the rest of the day. That's almost 80%.
And a non-sequence.
Or a non-sequence.
Yeah.
I have one right now that's about 80%, and that'd be.
But what do you think across the board? Not just our business, because you've obviously been in this game for a long time. What is like the average for
35%?
35. That's what I thought.
Maybe 35%. So essentially, getting 98% opt-in means that 98% of the people who want to get into your sequences are actually giving you their information, which is absolutely incredible. So if we continue to go on this, you can see we have a 23-hour delay. We have a condition that then sends them another message. And we also have here, if they do or don't participate in certain things, it's going to take them through this sequence, which then does other stuff for them, which is obviously really cool. It's going to show them, previous message if they didn't click this message, previous messages if they did click this message, so on and so forth. So now in this giveaway, we're actually collecting more information. We're building our list. So you give away a coffee maker, not just to get subscribers, which you're going to get more of. You're going to get more followers on Instagram using this. We didn't take away anything. In the giveaway, all it says is, make sure you follow my page, tag 2 friends, and we're going to send you the information to subscribe to this giveaway, to officially enroll.
Not changing a thing.
You make the official enrollment an email collection, and you choose a winner based on who gave you their email address. It's that simple. It literally is that simple. So the giveaways, this is an example of a viral giveaway. You could absolutely run this as an ad, again, collecting email addresses and being able to obviously build your business.
Well, and to kind of tell you guys what we did at the end there to monetize a giveaway in that initial kind of 24-hour period is at the end of the sequence, it's like, hey, thank you so much. Here's 10%. Go to the store. It's good for the next 24 hours. Or, you don't necessarily have to do that, but that's how we monetize giveaways in the short term is like, hey, thank you. Go shop. Go check our products out. And then if they click on that button in Chatmatic, you can do this where you can have a tag that says, did the user click on this button to go to the store? Oh, they didn't click on it. We'll hit them 23 hours later and say, hey, just a friendly reminder. You got an hour left. Go check out the store. Here's 10% off.
And just as a reminder, the reason that we use 23 and 22 hours a lot is because you have 24 hours to completely free retarget to people once they've been in a sequence. So once somebody engages your brand in Instagram DM or Messenger DM, you have 24 hours to market to them. The first sequence only lasts 2 to 3 minutes. So wait an hour and send another message. Wait 20 hours, send another message. You can utilize that 24-hour every single time somebody re-engages with your Messenger or your Instagram DM. So you could technically run this out 4 or 5 days. If they're consistently being active, you could run this out a long time. But take advantage of the free retargeting. Like this is, again, I just got them into a contest, so I got their email. There's an advantage that you don't get on normal contests. I then also linked them over to my store. Another advantage that you don't get when you run a normal contest. I then got 24 hours to remarket to them to offer them that again. All of this is stuff that you literally don't get when you run a normal contest. So I just think, again, mind blown that more people aren't using this. So as an agency, you need to offer this.
Yeah, and just as a quick note, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but think about the world that we live in. I could be going through that sequence and, about to give my email and then somebody texts me. Now I'm clicking out of that. Now I completely forgot. Like I'm not even thinking about it. Now I'm back on Instagram after I sent that text, scrolling through, not even thinking about your contest, but you hit me with the message an hour later saying, hey, just wanted to make sure that you got in, you officially registered. Dude, all you got to do is give your email.
The world we're in, we love reminders. Yeah. We love notifications of important stuff. So a little reminder in the messages, in the DMs, hey, just wanted to make sure you got this. That's good business, good marketing. So definitely you want to be able to use it. Moving to the next sequence, this is another one that we do all the time. And this is one that I highly suggest. Again, I want to mention it every time that as an agency owner, this is something that you could offer influencers on Instagram. As a business owner, this is something that you should have in your business. The importance of being able to build your list is massive. You have to be able to build a list all the time, right? So as an influencer, one of the ones that we use a lot is a VIP sequence. A VIP sequence is whatever you want to make it, right? And what I mean by that is if you want to have it be some long drawn out sequence where you introduce people, like the first VIP sequence we ever created was for an influencer who the reason I even introduced it to them was because they were trying to send people from Instagram over to a YouTube video. And I'm like, oh, that's not really going to work. Instagram doesn't like it when you link from one platform outside of theirs. So let's say that you have YouTube channels and you've got Instagrams and you've got live events you're doing, whatever. You create a VIP list, which is literally a list that you can have people opt into at any given time on your social channel that then creates an email connection between the two of you. And the one that you're seeing on my screen is one that we did for a guy named Matt Frazier, 5-time fittest man on earth CrossFitter. And it talks about the benefits of joining this VIP list. Literally, the benefits are you get live event schedules whenever he's doing a live event, his company workouts and strategies whenever he's releasing something publicly, his mentality tips, exclusive partner deals, which is another really cool way to monetize this. You get your current sponsors to give you more money to be on the email list. And then early and exclusive access to limited information and new merch and things like that. And then give the email. This is the best way to get your best clients into your inbox. Like, get real control. This is a 2-step sequence. And I want to tell you guys, he did one Instagram story. He's now at over 5,000 subscribers. And here's what's cool. 5,000 email subscribers. 92% opt-in rate, I believe it was. That's cool. But he only had 5,000 subscribers when he came to us, email subscribers.
Yeah.
He's doubled his email list with one Instagram story.
And those subscribers are so good.
Are going to be the best. They're the ones who want to see your stuff. That's it. That's what's really, really important to keep in mind. So VIP sequence can be all kinds of really cool stuff. Once they actually opt in, you show them all your different brands. You say, hey, we're also on YouTube. We're also over here on Facebook. We're also over here on this website. You give them ways to go and reach you in other platforms, right? So that's a cool way you could do it. You could also then follow up with people after a certain period of time. You could do a lot of really, really cool and interesting stuff. So the VIP sequence is just an easy one. But now we'll move on to another one. The next campaign is another very simple, potentially too simple. And I like, part of me almost looks at some of these and says, man, am I over here embarrassing myself holding a 3-day training where I'm like, I'm going to come show you these awesome campaigns. The results speak for themselves. I don't want anybody to be fooled into thinking that I think I'm special. I think that what we do is somehow the best in the world. No, sometimes it's so easy and simple, but it just works because it leverages traditional, good, prime marketing tactics. And in this case, we had a sequence where the client that we were working with, and in fact, let's go ahead and let's show that video real quick.
If you were not here, you can DM me 5 recipes, and I'll send you this teaser in a PDF.
So as you can see, went to Instagram stories, made a post and said, hey, DM me 5 free recipes and we'll make sure you get these 5 free recipes. I'm giving them out. And then we had a sequence. It's got a cool little carousel in it so you guys can see that. It actually shows a picture of the recipe she's giving out. Now here's the whole thing. Let me lay the foundation. This client sells a book, cookbook. Wanted to sell more cookbooks, obviously. She's been telling people to pre-order this cookbook for months now, right? So this was not the first campaign to get people to go buy books. Because when I tell you about the stats from this, you're going to think, oh, well, that might have been the first time that her as a big influencer, she told people. No. She's been beating the pre-order of this book over the head for a while, which is one of the reasons I hit her up in the first place.
And she was just sending them to a website.
Saying, hey, link here.
Yeah.
Swipe up. So I said, hey, let's try this. Let's try building your email list because I think you'll make more money doing that. And especially in the long term, especially when the book is out, there's other opportunities for you to make money. But I think I'll make you some more sales in the sequence too, because think about social media. Social media in general is a platform that gives you access to unlimited amounts of information at your fingertips, scrollable, and the excitement of that next post might be the one I want to see, right?
Distracting.
Really distracting. So we're taking them from a distraction platform into a one-on-one conversation. You think there's benefit in that?
Yeah.
Probably. And also getting them to kind of go through our message in sequence versus saying, hey, here's all this information that you might have on landing page. Hope you enjoy. So in this campaign, we actually said, let's get you hooked up, showed them pictures of the 5 recipes, explained and highlighted what the 5 recipes were. So I actually told them what they were. Then said, hey, all you got to do is give me your best email address and I'm going to email them to you. When they submitted email, Chatmatic syncs with Klaviyo. This person was using Klaviyo. It opts them into their Klaviyo list and sends the first email they had set up to be sent. That email was a link to download the 5 recipes. Not rocket science. They did wait 3 days and send another email. And that second email was like, hey, let me tell you the story about why I wrote this book. Indoctrination.
Nice.
Which is what we would talk about. Post-lead collection. You should indoctrinate your leads as to what you do, who you are, why you are creating what you've created. Because the story is what's going to sell them on your book. So now, the second step, once they give their email, it says, adding you now, check your email in about 2 minutes. Notice what we did there is we said, check your email in a few minutes. Because it gives them nothing to do right now. If you said, hey, go check your email right now, they'd leave and not pay attention. Check your email in about 5 minutes. We've got the recipes coming in your inbox. Then we showed an image of the book cover. We said, by the way, these are just 5 recipes from my cookbook that's about to release. If you want to check out the cookbook and get it on pre-release so that you're one of the first people to get it, click the link below. It says pre-order the book. So we've got 2 points of monetization here. Technically 3, I guess. The first is lead generation. It's the list building. It's the email collection. Second, we're sending them to the book immediately in the sequence. Now, Travis, why didn't you wait 2 hours and send them back to the book? We could have. She didn't want to.
Yeah.
Travis, why didn't you wait 20 hours and then relink them to the book? We could have. We didn't want to. We literally just wanted, let's get this ball rolling, okay? The third point of monetization is the 2 or 3 day after email that we sent that says, here's the story of the book, the actual indoctrination, right? That is an incredibly important phase. Get the lead, monetize the lead. At least try. Too many people that we've worked with, and we've done this with way too often. Oh, I'm not making as much money as I thought. Have you tried? Yeah. Have you submitted? Have you made one sequence?
Well, I don't want to be
sent an email.
I don't want to be pushy. It's like, no, people, they're coming in.
Pushy is marketing.
They want your stuff.
So
they clearly want your stuff.
Again, super easy to understand this. I'll give you an example of what this actually played out as because I love talking about this. And then we're going to show you a video of what she thinks of this campaign. But She ended up generating 400 book sales, and I believe the book is $26.
Do you know, or did you already say how many she had done prior to this?
So I don't know how many books she's had prior. I know she's getting, one of her goals is to be on the New York Times bestseller list.
Because didn't you say
we did put her pretty close.
She did something like a month or so prior, and it was like 30.
Well, we don't know how many book sales she did, but she did another campaign prior that wasn't that good. And
but that wasn't sequence based. Like it was just
it was just like, hey, go buy. And I don't even think it was 30.
Oh, okay.
But we went from she said it was a noticeable incline of about 400 new book sales in one weekend. That's amazing.
That's
in
solid.
One weekend with one 2-step sequence that collects emails and on a list that, again, she had already told them a bunch of times to go buy it. So this wasn't like this was a list full of people that, were primed to want to now buy this thing. So that's something to keep in mind. An absolutely incredible, incredible sequence. But let's hear from her what she thinks about her experience with it.
I mean, I think it's so cool. I think that there's nothing about this that it's like, why wouldn't you want to? I don't know. It's just an easy way to communicate with people. It's not one of those things where you're like, I can understand people's hesitancy. It's like, it's so simple. And it gives you direct communication with people. And I think that, if there's ever a period where like, hey, listen, why don't you do the first one and just see what it's like, if you don't like it, no harm, whatever. But it's also like, I can't imagine somebody going through the experience. And once again, of course, content is key. Like it's got to be good, engaging content in order for it to be successful. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you try it, then you'll see the results. You'll see the messages flowing through, or you'll see, your abilities to use this to your benefit. So
as you can see, she's had a pretty good experience with Chatmatic, and she's an executioner, though. I say that because she actually takes action. She executes on stuff.
She's great.
She was essentially one of the first people to come into our collective, basically, to work with us, but to work with us in a mindset of, I want to be able to do this for myself. I just want to be able to learn with you, kind of teaching me and walking me through the steps. So, if you have a business, you want to be able to generate more leads and get more sales and have effective campaigns like this and be able to learn how to do it on your own. That's kind of one of the reasons we started the collective, which is cool. The next campaign that I want to talk about, and it's mostly going to be talking about the experience of it in theory, and we're going to have another video from him. He'll come in and explain it as well. This is actually a member of ours who started an agency, went on his Facebook page, said, I want to help people do this because he saw the value in running messenger campaigns and Instagram campaigns. Posted on his Facebook page, said, I want to do this for companies. Who here has a business that I could help? He got referred to a guy who sells beads and started working with him. And he ran one campaign for this guy. This is incredible. Ran one campaign that this business was not running. So if you're an agency owner, you want to be able to make some additional money helping businesses do this kind of stuff. I want you to keep this in mind. This company was an e-commerce store that sold beads. They weren't taking advantage of one campaign that we teach inside of the collective and inside of Chatmatic, and it was a retargeting-based campaign. And he said, let me do this for you for a little while, but I want a percentage of all the revenue that it generates for you.
Nice.
He's generated more than $100,000 in sales. I think it was in 8 months for that company using this sequence. But real quick, let's just hear some of his highlights from when I spoke to him.
So recently I partnered up with a jewelry company. They're already just on Shopify alone, they're doing about 220,000 a month. And
that's amazing.
I basically verbatim told him your reverse funnel method. I went on the back end, on Zoom, on his business manager, and he had hundreds of thousands of abandoned carts. That's
incredible.
And the wheels started turning in his head, and he was like, "Oh my God! I lost a lot of money. So
60 days.
60 days. We did just a little over 40,000 in revenue. But yeah, it was all through Instagram. It was all on Instagram.
All right. Well, again, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we've got like countless numbers of these videos from people who are taking action. They're executing on this. This is amazing. All the stuff that I'm talking to you about has impact. It all has power. Being able to build a list, one-on-one connection with a subscriber, long-term connection, in-depth data, sending them into an uninterrupted medium. All of this is just, it's powerful, man. It's so cool. So I love that we've been able to help people start an agency where they offer this as a service to clients. The client pays them anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a month or up. We usually charge $3,500 setups, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month typically once we get rolling. And you know, having people come to us who have no experience with, you know, a successful agency, being able to offer this, we knew instantly, like, man, if you have an agency, being able to offer this as a service to them, knowing what we know, it's freaking gangbusters. And if you don't have an agency, it's an easy way to start one.
I love how it's just like somebody can take one sequence or one campaign idea and then put that into action, and then
and not even have to run ads right now with Instagram.
Really
there's 120 million businesses that have over 10,000 followers on Instagram, which means they could all be using this to make more money. They could use private replies when they make a post. They could do Instagram stories and say, hey, DM me this, and it sends them in. And again, we're showing you right now examples of actual sequences without showing you like the technical of how it's all going to get connected, right? So that's obviously going to be a big thing for day 3 that we're going to be covering. So make sure you guys pay attention for that. We're actually going to build a campaign from scratch, show you how you actually trigger it so we can pull all the pieces together. But I wanted to show you another campaign here, another e-commerce campaign to really kind of highlight, look, there's a ton of businesses that use Instagram for their e-commerce, with their e-commerce stores. So I wanted to show you some examples of what you could do. This is actually an example of a print-on-demand campaign that we created for a necklace. There's a company, great company called Shine On. They're actually now based here in St. Pete. We're in Tampa. And we've been to their warehouse, which was super cool.
Yeah.
They print all kinds of stuff, necklaces, bracelets, dog tags. They're doing a bunch of really cool stuff. Wallets, I think they were messing with. So they do a lot of really cool stuff. And so they have a lot of people who sell print-on-demand jewelry, essentially as an affiliate. So we made this sequence. Literally, again, I went to their website, their e-commerce store, and I said, okay, what are you offering? Let's take some highlights from that and turn it into a sequence. So I broke it into little chunks, basically. And we took the pictures from their page. So again, you'll be able to see kind of on my screen here. You can see we got a picture here, lots of pictures because I think e-commerce is a picture-based medium. Even in this little carousel in step 4, we've got some of the reviews because we all know how important it is to show reviews. And we essentially do the same thing we did in the first one. Run them through a sequence, ask them for email. Now we've got email. Think about how much more profitable your e-commerce store would be if everybody that you drove traffic to, you had an email from. And if you had the ability to then manually, I can manually go into every single one of the chats that I have with anybody who comes into my business, and I can ask them a question. I can connect with them.
I think that's underrated.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Why didn't you opt in? Hey, so-and-so, were you, I just want to let you know, here's a great example. Let's say I'm running this ad for Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is kind of coming up. I didn't get anything yet. Time is a ticking.
Yeah, you got to.
Maybe I should get one of these.
There you go.
So you get an ad, and it says, hey, order this by this date, and you'll have it by Valentine's Day. Somebody clicks, they look, but they don't buy. You go into the chat, hey, just wanted to make sure that you knew, manually type this. Just wanted to make sure that you knew this is the last day you can order until we get this. Do you have any questions? I'm, Sophia, the support agent, whatever. Then they actually have a conversation. Yeah, I just didn't know, was it made with real gold? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm in. Give me a link. You'll make more sales.
100%.
Everything that we're showing guarantees that you make more sales.
Yeah.
So another crazy example is my giveaway. And that was, I decided to give away a MacBook to test this. We actually did this live, which I think is really cool, but I want to show the stats from this. I had him make this campaign, mostly to show that it can be done. I don't want to say by anybody because it makes it sound like...
You almost did, though. You almost did.
Makes it sound like you're a child or like a monkey.
Or I haven't been doing this.
But anybody can make these, and I wanted to show that it's not like somehow me as the CEO of the company who like has some extreme advantage. Yes, he obviously works in the company and he's made a bunch of these sequences, so he has an advantage. But I didn't even have to tell him what to do. I just said, hey, let's make a giveaway campaign because these are kind of staple campaigns that we use. And I posted on my Instagram. And the post on my Instagram is me holding a laptop. And I say, I'm giving away this laptop. In order to win, what do you got to do? You got to like my page, like this post, comment, and enter. When they comment, I send them message 1 that says, great, you're following my page. You're commenting, tagging 3 friends. Now type your preferred email address. 229 people entered into my giveaway via this particular sequence. We had other ones.
Yeah.
229 people commented on my post to enter. 220 people gave me their email, so therefore got to the second step. And you can see it here in my screenshot, 229 to 220. That's when we said, hey, would you like to double your odds to win? Give me your mobile number. So now, out of the 220 people who gave me their email, 220, it actually shows 221, gave me their mobile number. 100%. Because they wanted it bad enough. A MacBook is a good incentive to get somebody to give you their email and mobile number.
Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about when we're talking about incentives. I used what's called a private reply on this one, which was I posted it to my feed on Instagram. Anybody who commented got a private reply from my page. I could have also made this an ad. And another way that I could have done this is I could have gone on my stories and said, hey, DM me the phrase giveaway, which I did, which was a different sequence, has different stats. But here's how I monetized this. I got them in thinking about the MacBook. And in my giveaway, I said, I want to give a MacBook away because it's one of my favorite entrepreneurial gifts. It's one of the things that I think helped increase my productivity because I had a good computer. It made me feel good, whatever. But I was talking to entrepreneurs, not just anybody who wanted a MacBook. So now I know the people who are enrolling are most likely interested in entrepreneurship, running a business. So then I said, after they gave me their mobile number, I said, hey, I'm hosting a 3-day training right now that can show you X, Y, and Z. Out of that, we had 221 people got the message like, hey, do you want to enroll in this free training? 123 of them said, yes, link me to it. So 123 people went over to this training. Then we also had an email that went out, and that email said, hey, here's the information for the MacBook Pro giveaway. Make sure you go check out my free training. So from that, and we have that in the PDF on today's day. You'll get information on how to get the PDF below. I have it in 10-page case study that outlines this whole thing. We made somewhere around, by the time I made that PDF, $50,000 in sales.
I thought it was closer to 60.
I think it might have been 60.
We'll say 50 to be safe.
Now we're at like 80. So I just didn't want to say the wrong number and you not be able to see that in the screenshot. We made about 60 grand because we had post email collection marketing. We sent them emails and text messages to monetize them. We had a lead generation idea, monetize them afterwards.
Well, there's a reason now it's worth 80 instead of probably what they're seeing of
because
60.
we continued
that relationship.
I've
continue to
offered
monetize
other projects afterwards, and that's the long-term value. And here's one of the really great benefits that I want you guys to really think about. Everybody who uses these campaigns will make more money on Black Friday. How do you make more money on Black Friday? Like, how do you take advantage of Black Friday? Right? When you think about it from 30,000 square foot view, you could make ads because everybody's shopping, but that's the most expensive time for ads ever. I saw an 8x increase in price for my ad costs near Black Friday.
And who are you running those ads to? Do you have a warm audience? Or
Maybe you have like an
cold?
audience of people. Okay. Let's just say even best case scenario, they've got an audience of people that have liked them on Instagram or whatever it is, but they have no guaranteed way to reach them aside from ads, right? They can make posts, but there's an algorithm, so you'll reach 8% of people. You can make ads, but if there's an algorithm, so you might not reach essentially any of those people. Send emails that's where all the big brands that you listen to, follow, take advice from, they all make a lot of money on Black Friday because they have an audience they can reach directly. They send emails. That is how you do it.
Emails, SMS, obviously, too.
Emails, SMS, and then also the private reply idea. You can make posts and say, instead of being like, hey, the link's in my profile, which is really cryptic and hard to understand, just, hey, comment below and I'll get you a link. That's another way that we're seeing works
It's
really,
that
really well.
omni-channel style of like being everywhere.
Yep.
Be
So
where they're at.
to give you an idea of what you should be thinking about as you percolate going through the end of day 2, I wanted to show you guys a lot of ideas. I wanted to show you inside of actual profitable campaigns. We also have run giveaways. A lot of people watching this are going, well, would a giveaway work for me? We had somebody report that they made $100,000 for a client in the HVAC space.
It's awesome.
So everything that we teach, we apply it to 2 different kind of businesses, as you guys can see. We apply it directly to the business owners who can benefit from it. So if you're an HVAC company, I hope you're listening. That there's a really great way to be able to use Chatmatic in these sequences to do giveaways. But I don't know how to get HVAC people to listen. I don't know how to get chiropractors to listen, plastic surgeons. We've worked with all these brands before in niches, but I can't get every plastic surgeon to listen. I can't get every e-commerce store to listen. I can't get every online coach to listen. They can all benefit from this. Literally put me in a room with them. Everybody wants this, guaranteed, because it works. It's guaranteed lead gen, guaranteed future profitability in the ability to reach your leads in the future. And it's a very profitable medium to begin with. Like sending them into a sequence, even if you don't collect any information, it's going to make you money. But it's just amazing because there's so much potential to run an agency doing this because I can't reach everybody. But there's also so much potential to use this in your own business. And the main campaigns that we kind of start everybody out with, and again, just as you're thinking about this and percolating on ideas of what you could do for yourself or how you could have an agency doing this, is one of my favorites is lead generation. And that is in some way making the lead generation the primary goal of the sequence. So you have an ad, you make a post, send somebody into a sequence, collects email, redirects them to an offer, right? Typical lead generation that you would have in a funnel. Another one that I really like is an assessment funnel. And I think we don't talk about this enough. I wanted to kind of hint at this a little bit. One of the things that we teach is a funnel where you're collecting data and then giving them a solution at the end. And one of the wins that we've done that was really successful was with a plastic surgeon, where we asked them, hey, here at my plastic surgery office, I specialize in 4 areas of plastic surgery. Which one are you interested in? And we asked them a bunch of questions and walked them through an evaluation process where at the end we said, hey, we can absolutely help you. Give us your phone number. We'll schedule an appointment, right? And that gets them farther in. They're more qualified leads. So this assessment funnel works for everybody. Works for e-commerce. E-commerce, you could say, and another great example of this is a company that actually used Messenger to make an insane amount of money. There was a company that sells skateboards, and it was one of these skateboards where you could kind of twist on them, and they have different size skateboards for different body sizes based on how much you weigh, right? So what they did is they were running a normal retargeting ad, and these numbers could be off a little bit. This was a case study that I was reading about. And I think they were getting about 7x ROI on their first retargeting ad, which was just, hey, anybody who doesn't buy, send them an ad on Facebook asking them
to the store, right?
To come back and buy. Yeah. It's an ad that sends them right back to the store. What they decided to do was, hey, well, we could use Messenger. We could ask them, why aren't they buying?
Yep.
That's a really ingenious thing to do. Why aren't you buying? And the most significant answer was, I didn't know what size to get, because it's based on my height and weight. So it asked them in the sequence, how tall are you? Are you in this height range? Are you in this weight range? This is the one you should get. That ad, that switched their retargeting from 7x ROI to 56x ROI because you're assessing the client needs. I don't know what you're selling as you're watching this, but maybe you're selling agency services. Hey, does your business currently advertise on Facebook? No? Okay, here's what you should do. Yes? Okay, different answer. Notice it's a different funnel. You're selling e-commerce. We have assessment funnels for e-commerce. That's kind of that Otzi gear demo that we started this with was, do you want a single person cooker or a dual person? I can do so much with that data once I've collected it, but I can't utilize it and benefit from it if I'm not avidly focused on getting it, right? So assessment funnels are absolutely amazing. I love VIP sequences.
Yep.
Another one that I think is highly underrated. Give your best subscribers a way to become your best subscriber.
I think that's like one of the best things to start And like
it's the easiest.
Like,
It's like, hey, I'm going to offer you this cool stuff. If you want it, come in and get it. And we've seen influencers crush with that. And then you've built that relationship. So on Black Friday, hey, I only got 10,000 VIPs, but on Black Friday, I've got 10,000 people to email, 10,000 people to SMS,
yeah,
10,000 people to sponsored message, which we made a ridiculous amount of money. We turned $89 into $45,000 one time in ads using sponsored messages, because sponsored messages is a paid broadcast that goes to all your Messenger subscribers, right? It's an ad on Facebook. Very simple to run, but you've got to build the subscribers first. So you do that by running VIP campaigns, running ads into Messenger, by literally cultivating it. So I love those kind of campaigns. Typical ads in general, again, kind of go across the board. I like giveaways. I think those are amazing. Structure a really strong giveaway, something that you can give away that's maybe not your own product, that's complementary to your product. So if you're a grill, if you sell a cookbook, give away a grill. If you sell a grill, give away, the stuff that you would need in the grill, like the charcoal and the cookbook and the utensils or whatever else you don't sell. Something that will bring in your ideal audience. There's a ton of things that we teach on giveaways, especially inside of the collective, where we talk about the different ways you can have giveaways, different ways to host giveaways using other influencers, using your own traffic, cool. Creating your own giveaway page. Maybe that's what you want to do as your side hustle, where you just host giveaways and you can monetize them by building your email list. Man, I hope that now because we've gone through only like a handful of some of our best campaigns. And as you guys are watching us here, I'm literally scrolling through some of my page just to see if there's ones that I know I want to talk to you about, but that might be forgetting. And that's one of the downsides of doing this stuff live, is you may end up overlooking one. Another great example was a user of ours named Andrea. We've talked about it a bunch of times. She sells, this is just a totally now different space, right? She sells coaching specifically to women who want to learn how to launch their business a bit more effectively, that's in line with their sort of mantra, what they find important. And so she ran a campaign. She does it specifically on Instagram. She ran a campaign that basically said, hey, DM me. I'm hosting this masterclass. I'll get you information. All she did was build an order page, and it was a very basic order page. And she told them what was in it inside the sequence. This is what I loved. She explained it in the sequence, and you guys can see on my screen right now that she basically explained it here. Hey, let's build your list. Okay, great. Here's some information. Let me just run you through these stats, because this is the first time I've heard these stats. The first message reached 290 people. 188 of them said, I want this information, right? So pretty good. 180 then got to the second message. 178 got to the third. 172 got to the fourth. 162 got to the fifth. In the fifth, we got a lot of really good attention. 163 got the fifth. So there might be one or two that got double delivered, but let's just say almost 100% got from message 5 to message 6. Message 6 asks for an email address.
Oh, wow.
Essentially asks them to commit, right? Tells them all the stuff that's going to go into the sequence or into the masterclass. We've now spent 6 messages selling. This is something we call the Contrarian copy method. It's phenomenal because it literally lets you not build a sales page, but you make it into a sales sequence where you're selling your product in the sequence. Like telling them what it is, telling them about the benefits, telling them how to overcome certain objectives. It's the whole thing is in there. Whole concept that we teach. 163 people were offered the ability to get access if they gave their email. 148 opted in. Give or take 80% opt-in rate.
Solid.
Really solid. And they're very educated people.
Yeah.
Of the 148, 127 gave us their mobile number to confirm that they would get notified when we actually went live on the masterclass. So she did a sequence just like this. At the end, she linked them, in her version of the sequence, she links them over to the page where they can order the masterclass. They can actually pay for it. And she spent no money on ads, generated $3,000 in sales to the masterclass. I might actually be understating that. That might be, I think it's around 5,000.
Do you know how much the masterclass was?
But $66.
66.
But on the masterclass, she sold access to her coaching program and she made $70,000 on that.
Wow.
So 75,000 from zero, and built an email list. Sent me a text message immediately afterwards and said, you know, I've never really been into list building because it felt like a job. It felt like a task that I was going to have to do, and I knew I was missing it. This is just fun. This is just me doing what I'm already going to do manually by messaging, but now I get to do it automatically, which is great. And you're servicing hundreds of, if not thousands of people all automatically. So this stuff works for coaches. I want you guys to think about your ideas. How can you run some of these main campaigns? What would your assessment funnel look like? What would your lead gen campaign look like? Yes, I don't have enough time in these videos to cover our full Contrarian method. Those of you guys that are going to be in the collective, you're going to get full training videos on exactly how to run that, examples of our Contrarian sequences, so you could sell anything for anyone in these sequences. You'll also learn things like how do we turn this into an ad, things of that nature. But I want you guys to think about what kind of campaigns you would run. Think about it in sequence. Think about it in the same ideas of like, okay, now I know sort of the basics. I know I have 24 hours.
Yep.
I know that I can drive people from Instagram, basically anywhere in Instagram, into a DM and automate a whole chat. I know I can send them anywhere from Facebook into a DM, automate that. I know I can do ads. So any method that you can use to drive traffic, you could send them into a sequence. I'm not suggesting that you have to do everything into a sequence, but I would definitely do a significant amount of it because you build a list with everything that you do. Now, I want you guys to think about that stuff as we close out day 2. Again, make sure you guys go below and you get the information on grabbing our free PDF, my 10-page case study. Also, you can get more information on joining the collective if you're ready to go to that next level. Collective is how you actually work with us. It's an arm of Chatmatic. It's actually a new company that we created to allow us to focus on you guys because we in Chatmatic, we focus on the software. We're making the software better all the time. We have developers that we're working with who we're ignoring currently, which is maybe not the best idea. But we work with developers. We build the software. I wanted to create an engine that allowed us to actually work with you guys, get you guys the results, because I can't work with everybody as an agency, meaning like I can't work with you one-on-one as a client because we just don't have the time. I'd rather you be self-sufficient. This stuff is easy enough that you can do on your own. Come into the collective. We'll teach you guys how to do that. So you can get more information on every campaign that we run in the actual collective. So every sequence, you get templates, you get all of it. All the information is going to be below on that. So make sure you guys grab that PDF. But I want you guys leaving today, no matter what, thinking these are some campaigns that I think would be cool. Another exercise that we're actually going to participate in tomorrow is, I call it the Robin Hood method. It's how I come up with a lot of my campaigns. I rob from the rich and give to the poor, right? I don't want to say the poor, but I give to everybody else. We give to the people, right? We're men of the people here. And what we want to do is we go on Instagram, we look at a post that could be a sequence, and then we just imagine what that sequence would say. You can write it out in a Word document if you want. Also, obviously, everybody who joins Collective gets access to Chatmatic. So if you want to be able to start doing this stuff for yourself right now, book your call for Collective, which is going to be below, and get access to Chatmatic. Start building this stuff. But tomorrow, we're actually going to go in and build stuff. Tomorrow, the idea is I'm going to take you guys inside of the actual sequence. We're gonna show you some stuff on Instagram. Go through my feed, make a sequence based off of it. And which is the exact way that we created that Otzi gear one. I got an ad for it. I created a sequence. And now we've got this structure for a really cool campaign that we've used for other people and been highly successful. So tomorrow, I just want to show you more of the actual software itself. What does Chatmatic do? What's it capable of? We'll kind of go through some of the settings, some of the triggers, some broadcast stuff, what we see when we go into subscribers, the whole deal. Obviously, what you've seen here today is just sort of an example of what has been possible. I want to show you what you could do, so you could see this is all stuff that you could be doing. And you obviously know we've got people using Chatmatic and pretty successfully from all walks of life that sometimes you wouldn't even imagine would be good at Chatmatic. Like, it's not like you have to somehow be a tech wizard or
all walks of life for all different types of businesses. It's cool to see. It's fun.
In fact, what we're going to do now is I'm going to leave you guys with a video from one of our users named Penny, who might be one of those that on the surface, I wouldn't see her on the street and ever think she's going to get a client. She's going to tell you about the $9,000 client that she hooked in using techniques that we teach and offering these services. And we'll leave you guys with that. On that note, make sure you set a reminder for day 3 and make sure you guys are here, because day 3 is when we actually go through and build something. We go through the creative process of making some of these campaigns, showing you how to turn them into ads, showing you how to link them to an Instagram post, showing you some of those features. We've got features that other companies don't have, so we'll walk you through some of that. And it's going to be an awesome day. So make sure you guys watch what Penny has to say about what we've been able to do. Or Penny Coggins. Penny Coggins. That's it. Penny Coggins. So make sure you guys pay attention to that. And aside from that, we'll see you on day 3.
See you guys.
Last week I connected with someone on Tuesday, messaged him on Thursday to say thank you for connecting. He messaged me back within a couple of minutes and asked if I could help him get some leads for his car sales and leasing business. It was actually for about £9,000 over the year. So we connected on the Tuesday, spoke on the Thursday, saw him on the Friday, he paid me on Saturday. Yeah, it was really, really easy. I just can't believe it. So I can't praise this program enough. This is it, and it's recurring. I mean, what can be better than that? You don't have to keep going and doing the same sales.